Morning, it's Brendan, the Technology Concierge, and today I'm joined by Bruno Fallegger from BPN Solutions, and we're going to be talking about housekeeping. Morning, Bruno. How are you?
Wonderful. Good morning, and thank you, Brendan, for having me today. I'm excited to be with you and talk about that beautiful subject that is very close to my heart.
That's fantastic. Bruno, I think the first thing is that housekeeping solutions, they're not new. They've been used by, five-star and larger hotels for many years. But I think with cloud-based technology, they're now cost-effective and available to pretty much any sized hotel. Is that right?
Yes, look, we are of the opinion that these days, every hotel, and I think from a size perspective, we start with around 100 rooms, approximately, should be able to use an affordable solution to improve their overall performance. And that is what is needed, I think, also with the changes what we have with COVID. It automatically comes with it. Technology will be part of our future.
That's a really good point. Yeah, I mean, COVID has advanced technology tenfold. Everybody says, we've moved ahead pretty much 10 years. And only today I was reading an article on how important technology is going to become within the hospitality industry to address one of the biggest issues we have at the moment, which is the labor shortage.
Of course. Look, when we created BPN Maestro Cleaning Plus, it is our housekeeping room cleaning solution, providing hotel with a one-stop central platform that helps the overall cleaning and inspection process. And Cleaning Plus is designed in a very simple way. What does it do? It automates the entire room assignments. It does so-called the room cleaning from when it starts till it ends. Then it goes into the aspect of the room inspection itself and has also a solution for maintenance process, what you can bring in, and in the housekeeping department, as well as account for linen as well. So this is so-called a little bit the basics, what we have. And then I think the system should allow the hotels to create, and that's also a very important part, to create a tailor-made cleaning and inspection checklist for their mobile apps, because each hotel is different and of course needs to be able to adjust. And we believe that the adjustments of anything in the software should be able to be done by the hotel itself. And that's the reason why we appoint always a hotel champion who is overall in charge of the system and has the right to make any adjustments within the system as well. So look, overall, we have designed the software to help the team to further enhance the daily operation and, yes, being more efficient. That is the overall idea, and that will help in the future to come with using technology even in the housekeeping department.
Yeah. Great point. And I really like your point about, obviously, the property being able to customize a solution. Hospitality is very dynamic. You need to be able to do things yourself and have that control. Bruno, what is it that staff love about using a housekeeping solution?
Look, staff, I think in particular, staff needs to have something what is simple. Okay, and overall, it should benefit them more than it makes life difficult. That's my overall impression. So otherwise, why to do something? Okay, yes. So the system, in particular, the mobile app, is very much loved by our end users. And we also have translated it in 10 different languages. That helps the staff members to focus on the job without being distracted. We also find what is a good benefit is specifically when you rehire new staff, and when a new staff comes on board, there is a lot of time what you spend usually to teach, to tell them, and each time there is something lost as well. So the system actually is programmed for the staff that they have the various videos, checklists, trainings. It is built into the app, and the new staff can always go back and have a look at it, and that helps to keep the standard within a hotel always at the same. Another benefit, for example, is the guest arrival time is filled in automatically, allowing the housekeeping team to prioritize which room to be cleaned first, without automatically receiving alerts for the attendance and cleaning progress. And it immediately alerts the team when the room is done, and then the supervisor can go for inspection. So there is no more delay and room are pending and what has been done or not. You can see it straight away. Everybody's aware of it. And allow me one more thing maybe to add on to the staff love it. You know, no more paperwork.
Yep. And
report printing. It's just gone now. So you can keep your all the assignment, whatever you have done, is everything secured in an app. And the management has direct access, can always see your performance as well. And specifically, they have a lot of time they spend with laundry lists and stuff like that. That also straight in, problem solved. Overall, the communication, what is done internally, to the fact that now every single person, what they does, where they are, how they perform, is given overall within the system, and then we know exactly what is happening. That means the communication, the internal communication between the engineering and front office, it ensures now a seamless communication. More or less, these are few of the benefits, I would say, for staff members, and that's also the reason why they love it, because it makes life much, much more easier.
What do managers love about the solution?
Good. You know, management or owners, GMs, they have a little bit different needs when it comes, or what they want to get out of a software, you know. And our system was built to address the main challenges every housekeeping department is facing on a daily basis, and providing features that are needed to operate effective while remaining affordable regardless the size of the hotel. Okay, that's very, very important. It's affordable regardless of the size of the hotel. Imagine the management can room attendance, you can see the performance, and you can trace that one in the system as well. So you have a much more personal accountability of each staff member, and allows the management to point the finger on the pulse of the day-to-day operation. Dynamic checklists, for example, it helps to keep the standards within your hotel absolutely always on the, let me rephrase that one. You know, each time you want to change something in a hotel, until the change is implemented, it takes quite a long time. So if you want to change in the room something, and you have this flexibility to change the photos, checklists, and all immediately in a system, that makes such a difference at the end of the day, and it is implemented immediately with immediate effect, as it takes much less time these days. Another advantage where the management is looked specifically is the daily housekeeping performance report. That housekeeping performance report is summarizing the daily routine data, all comes in, productivity statistics, linen consumption, and you can clearly see in the report the various bottlenecks, the challenges you maybe have in your day-to-day operation, and it also helps you to track the cost of it. So there are a few very important points, but overall, by optimizing the room cleaning and action communication, a housekeeping system helps to drive efficiency of each team member and increases the number of room cleaned by each member as well. Look, there are a lot of benefits for an owner, and I think the best is always for an owner, have a look, make an ROI calculation. And we are happy we have an ROI calculator. You look into it, and we will help you to see exactly what benefit it could be for your specific individual hotel.
Yep, that's fantastic. We touched on it a little bit before, Bruno, but now, you know, housekeeping solutions are available to pretty much any property, I think, as you said, with 100 rooms or more. What sort of hotels are using the solution?
Look, it's not anymore only hotels, but let's first speak about hotels. Now, I can see clearly the pickup of now hotels in the 3 and 4-star segment. They have now a need for it because of the staff shortage. They also see slowly, wow, we have the opportunity to use it. And it's not only the 5-star property, but as you rightfully say, it's about some of the hotels, maybe with 80 to 100 rooms, I would start. And of course, open end of the amount of hotel. And you can see it now, it is implemented in independent hotels. You can see it in big hotel chains, in various properties. And allow me to say as well, recently, we have seen a much higher demand, for example, also in service apartments have shown interest, and I think it's a good point. We also have already under contract retirement homes, because many retirement homes are managed like hotels these days and providing the same service. So the system is exactly used for that one. And as you maybe know, Brandon, me and you and I, we're working also on some third-party housekeeping provider in Australia. And even the outsourced housekeeping providers are looking these days into solution to optimize their overall performance in their operation as well. And yeah, that is the reason for why actually hotels and why hotels can use the softwares these days.
Excellent. Bruno, is it difficult to implement a housekeeping solution?
Look, it's a question what is always asked, and of course there is always a fear within in a hotel when something new is coming, and how will be and what will change and how long it takes, and you know the good old habits have to change sometimes as well. And it's a very good question. Personally, honestly, it is not at all difficult to implement. Look, and I can just speak for BPN Solutions. The entire implementation process of the software itself will take less than an hour, okay? And we have installed that one in your PMS and have a one-way interface to our system. We recommend actually to appoint a hotel champion. It's very important. That will be the person who is the liaison between us as a service provider and of course the hotel. That's the person who can coordinate all what is needed and has also access to the various solutions. That means he can make adjustments. Yes. Because BPN is cloud-based, that means also we don't need to install any hardware on site. It's no need for this anymore. What is maybe important, what you look into it, is that smartphones are available, or you let your staff members to use the smartphones, and that's the simple implementation of an app, to download an app. What honestly, every person who uses a smartphone knows how to do it. It's just what comes with it. You need to provide a strong internet back of house as well in order that the people can use it. I would say once the system is live, we provide a specific training plan for the various departments, what is needed. And here we're talking specifically about the housekeeping team. That needs usually 2 hours, and that's it. But further, what we have found very important, and it is successful, is the hotel champion gets the first 3 months a coaching from us, where we look into the system performance, and help there with the best practice. Look, overall, I would say within a month of starting to use the software, it will be embedded, and people will automatically not even think back what has happened before, and you will see immediate benefits afterwards. A month, that's it.
I like it. That was going to be my next question. How long does it take? But a month. Okay. As I say, it takes about 21 days to form a new habit, right? So after a month, it's just second nature.
Yeah. and people go for it. And with it, yeah.
That's perfect. I suppose the next question then, Bruno, is it expensive to install a housekeeping solution in a hotel these days?
I obviously have a little bit the prices also of different systems, and I keep that one always in mind. And when we build ours, we said, look, we want to keep it simple as well when it comes to pricing.
Yep.
And look, we think we are at this point in time the most affordable system on the market. Taking the following in consideration. BPN Maestro, there is no capital investment needed at all. You don't need any extra hardware. For the installation, there is no cost, and even the whole setup, there is no cost. And as we spoke about, you need to have, as it is remote access as well. That means we don't have any travel cost what comes with it. As the only cost who could come beside for a hotel is a monthly fee. Mm-hmm. And this is in our case for BPN Maestro Cleaning Plus, $125 per month, what is around 170 Australian dollars. And that's it. And the second, one of the part where the people always ask specifically is, how many users account can you install as well? And I think that is key as well. Many times it comes after you have 20 to start with, and then each add-on cost you some extra cost. And we have also specifically made it simple and say, look, you can install every single employee in your property can have access to the system and work with the system, and no extra cost. So let me say it again. I think we are the most affordable. For $125 means 170 Australian dollars at this point in time, and you can make for your hotel your personal ROI, and you will see how beneficial it can be.
Excellent. Okay, no, some really good points, Bruno. I think, as you said, being cloud-based, software as a service, there are no upfront costs, no capital costs. Training these days is very simple. That's great. Bruno, what are some of the things you would suggest to a hotelier to look for when they're deciding on a housekeeping solution?
There's a few points, and overall, when you have operation software to install, what I would recommend to look into it. For me, important is the software has to be real-time updates. The current room cleaning assignments and inspection, all these timings has to be real-time. That gives a clear understanding at any given time for all people involved in the operation what's going on. One of the other points I would recommend is the customizable of the checklists. That means every hotel, as I said, is different and has different needs, different room, different sizes, and that's the reason why the checklist and the checklist builder, that you can make as many as you want. You have the opportunity to include SOPs, you can include photos, you can include videos, all this or training material, all this helps. That flexibility needs to be there within the system. Also, specifically in housekeeping, it is important, and you know, when an attendant is in the room, does the cleaning, and there is any defects or anything what the person registers, it needs to be able that the person can use the app to communicate with engineering or front office if anything is needed. And through the fact that it is communicated through an app, it is registered, followed up. It has also a timeline to follow up, and it is alert in case the problem hasn't been solved within reasonable time frame. Look, I do believe the simplicity of a system and not make it too complicated, keep it simple to the point, and specifically when it comes to app, as we all know, sometimes elderly people also in housekeeping, or we have new people coming to work. So keep it simple give the people only what they need and don't overload them with information, unnecessary information, okay? So this is a few of the points I would recommend at this point in time. But Brandon, at the end of the day, I think you are the right person to recommend, as in the individual hotels, what should be needed as a technology concierge. So that's from my side, but I'm quite sure you are capable to talk to the hotels itself.
Thank you, Bruno. Bruno, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to talk to you about housekeeping, and I really appreciate the advice you've given us.